What's up, Bug Dog with D&E in the garage. What you are looking at right now is the underside of my WJ. As you can tell, my gas tank skid plate has finally hit critical mass. I was filling up the other day and I heard this little crunch when I get to work. I noticed that my gas tank's hanging down to about here. So all week long I've been driving around with some ratchet straps, basically holding my gas tank in. And I was gonna hit up the junkyard, try to find a new one of these, but unfortunately on Rust Belt Jeeps here in Jersey, these things just rot out, man, and even the ones in the junkyard are no good. So I bit the bullet. I bought a brand new one. Dorman makes one. Shipped to my house was like $200, wasn't too bad. So our goal for today is find a way to get this thing down, get the new one in. Now it's not as easy as it sounds because you have to let it down, get the gas tank separated from the remains of this skid plate and slid into the new one. Now I ran my gas tank down as much as I could to about 1/8 of a tank. I'm going to try to do this without disconnecting everything. My thought process is get a jack under here, let this down, right? Then I'm going to use the ratchet straps in the same configuration to hold the tank up while I slide this out, slide the new one in. I don't know. Best laid plans, right? They say no plan survives contact with the enemy. Well, today's the enemy. Today is the enemy. We'll see if my plan survives. First thing I got to do is get the ball hitch off the back here and get the jack in place and start undoing some bolts. Thankfully, I was just in here recently putting this hitch on, so most of the bolts that hold the skid plate in shouldn't be too bad. Alrighty friends, now that that's done, there's 2 more bolts on this side, 1 more on the other side. It's got to come out. Unfortunately, those were not out recently, so they may be a fight. I'm going to spray them down with PB Blaster and hope for the best. Just so you can properly see the carnage here, this thing fell off. My tank, it would have slid out that way towards the bumper, or the differential was actually resting against the differential when I found it. So yeah, man, the Jersey Start's no joke. I know you down south Jeepers are always making fun of us, like, hey man, what's up with your Jeep? This is just a fact of life. This is one of the clean ones. That's the bummer. Let's get this thing down. Try to not make this an all-day repair. Well, there you have it, man. As you can see, oh damn, this is scary, man. The whole thing is down now. It's on the ground, but there's still a big chunk, like the whole middle rotted out in a ring. So I've got the part that secures it to the Jeep in one hand and the part that holds the tank in the other. So yeah, I'm real lucky I didn't lose my gas tank on the road somewhere. All right, the plan at this point is to let the I don't know what the plan is. All right, first we're gonna have to undo, there's some plastic clips here that are holding the bumper to the gas tank skid. Probably should have done this first, but I forgot about these. Okay, these gotta go. Oh, never mind, pulled it out. Alrighty friends, here's the plan. We've got the tank pretty much falling out right now. These straps are thankfully rusted through because these bolts that hold them in were all rusted and just spinning in there. What we're gonna do is ratchet strap up the tank, right? So that the tank itself is just hovering. We can get this last broken bit out. Then ideally, we slide the beautiful fresh tank in there and we can avoid taking off everything. I'm gonna tell you why I don't want to disconnect all the hoses and everything. You see how dirty it is up here? It's gonna take way more time to clean all this to make sure I don't get dirt in my tank than it is to just do it this way. So this is what we're going with. I really hope it doesn't go wrong. Obviously if the tank falls, it could rip all the electronics and and fuel lines out, and then I've really not saved myself any time. So I don't know, man. See what we can do. Wish me a bit of luck, eh? Alrighty friends, so this is what was left of my gas tank skid. You can see the straps were completely rotted away. It's a miracle, honestly, that this thing didn't fall out. When I heard the crunch, this corner was hanging down, and I guess just enough of that corner and that corner were holding it in. Anyway, here's a new one. It's beautiful, ain't it? Yeah, man. This is probably the nicest piece I've ever put in a Jeep. Everything I put in my Jeeps comes from the junkyard. Sorry, Willie. When he needed one, when I did a tank tuck on Willie, I found one and found it from the junkyard. That's the reason I didn't want to pull all the tubes off, because I know what a nightmare it is to get everything back together. Now, so old one here, new one there. The plan is clean this one off a little bit, get some of this dirt and dust and crap off of it, get it up and level so I can slide the new one underneath, and then in theory I just release these straps and it falls right down into there. I bolt everything up. That's the theory. So far the plan has gone relatively close. So I'll tell you one thing though, I'm putting tons of cardboard down because I don't want to drag this thing across the asphalt here, give it some fresh scratches, be a good place for it to fail. I will say one thing though, the replacement, I could be wrong, it doesn't feel as thick as the original ones, which is okay with me. This original one lasted 117,000 miles and what is it, 18 years. So if I get 18 years out of this, or 15 years, whatever, let's be honest, this Jeep will be oh, who knows? Maybe in 15 years she'll be around. Anyway, enough jawing. Let's get back to pawing. Alrighty, it was not easy. I was able to get these straps in place. I did find out though, I don't actually have any bolts to put in there, so I'm gonna have to get some tomorrow. Least of my worries right now. Let's get this thing in place. Tomorrow I'll find some bolts to pull that right together. We're gonna get these ratchet straps out. We're gonna get this thing zipped up and then pretty much good to go. I feel relatively comfortable saying that the hard part is done, though I hope I didn't just jinx myself. Oh, goodness. Before we go any further, I think we got to put the hitch on. That's going to be real fun to do by myself. I'm super looking forward to it. Oh, this sucks. This sucks. Oh, fuck. No, 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 no. Damn it. I'm not amused right now. Alright friends, here it is. Everything's in. Well, almost everything. I'll explain that in a minute. Fresh, brand new skid. Looks absolutely gorgeous. The hitch all locked on there. We got all the bolts in, except for, I don't know if you can even see it, these last ones up there. They go through the hitch, through some bumper supports, and into the body. The bumper supports were real rough though, so we decided to give them the Project Day and H treatment, even though we're not ever going to see them. Sanded them all down, hit them with some rust reformer. That's all there is to. This job was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Ratchet strapping up the tank saved me a lot of trouble. I know it wasn't pretty. Oh yeah, I found a mouse nest in there. This was on top of my fuel pump, so I got to figure at some point I was very much in danger of having a mouse chew through my fuel pump wires. I'm glad that didn't happen. This is what we were driving around with. I knew the tank had some rust when we bought her. This is next level. So anyway, nothing left now but to have a little lunch. Wife and I went to Polish Deli yesterday. Got some spicy cabanos. Holy hell. Damn good, I tell you what. So that's all there is to it, Buck. Let me comment down in the squawk boxes if you got any questions. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've ever done this and you know a better way. I think jacking up the tank like that was primo. I loved it. Anyway, one down, about 400 to go on this thing, but that's okay. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time. Freaking cabanos, man.